What's up, everyone? Today, as I said earlier, we are here with Torrential Rain, I think actually a new band from Germany. I'm really proud. Today, I'm here with Chris and Dario, and we're going to dive right in. And we also going to do a reaction together to their upcoming song, Deaf Ears, including a music video. I'm really, really excited. What's up, guys? Hello, everyone.
Hey man, thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.
Of course. And by the way, this is all for you because we're going to do it in English, even though we can, of course, all talk German. So how is everyone doing right now?
Yeah. I'm fine.
Yeah.
Saturday, so I'm not doing really all that much, so just chilling.
Yeah, also doing fine, but in comparison to Chris, I have done quite a lot. I was doing a seminar since 8 o'clock in the morning, so I'm pretty busted out right now at the moment, but we get through it, I promise.
I think the last time I woke up...
Yeah, Dario's not quite a musician yet. He's always working.
He's always working, even on Sunday and Saturdays.
He's not quite a musician yet, so he's always working, yeah.
That's
learning
actually
from the best.
That's actually a good question. I mean, that's really a good question because I talked earlier before recording this right now. We talked about, because you can see Heaven Shall Burn. And today it's really hard for bands to, do it full time. You always have to do something besides music. And I guess for you, it's really, really hard. So are you guys still, studying, having normal jobs, or how does your normal life look like?
I'm actually having probably the most boring job. It's a typical office job in industrial company. So a lot of sitting and phone calling and typing stuff into something. A man of numbers. Let's keep it that way.
What about you,
Yeah,
Chris?
I'm a teacher. I teach music and IT stuff, stuff with computers. And also, fun fact, Gordy, our guitarist, he's also the same kind of teacher, like the same subjects. He also, we met at the same seminar, actually. And yeah, that's kind of what I do during the week and on the weekends and, in the vacation time between, or should I say holidays. I'm a musician.
Awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, because I was talking to Simon from The Agonist, and even The Agonist, some people in the band still have normal jobs, and I can't believe it because, I mean, you guys are still pretty young, I consider myself also still young, so you know exactly what I'm about to say. 15 or 20 years ago, when MTV used to be still MTV, you remember that? Good times, I know it seems crazy, but they showed music. All those bands, Limp Bizkit, Papa Roach, Korn, when they had a new song or a new record, man, they had so much money. That was their full-time job. Nowadays, so many bands are actually reaching out to me, or I mean, especially you guys are in the scene, so new good bands. It's so hard to really, make it big nowadays. That's my opinion. Of course, you have Spotify, you have different streaming platforms, but it's still so hard. So I guess, and this is going to be my question, do you think that nowadays bands have to tour way, way more than back in the day?
Yeah, in my opinion, it's a lot harder to earn real cash with music. So you really depend on the money you make while touring, while selling merch, while selling CDs to the people in person. And that's also something which quite a lot of musicians this year won't be very happy with, and that's COVID. Yeah, luckily for me, and I think for most of us of our band, we're not that affected by it monetarily because we all have our jobs. Like I said, Gordy and I, we are teachers. Dario is the money guy. And our only poor band member, so to speak, is Domi, the bassist, typically, and he's also studying. He's at university, but we're all getting by. So we're not that dependent on music. But if we were, then this year would be pretty much, we would be pretty done by now.
Yeah, that's actually very, very interesting, Chris, because that actually leads me to the second question. Of course, that's why I ask everyone, how did the COVID situation affect you? Because I know, especially when you're on tour and they give you the call like, hey, torrential rain, that's it, no more concert. That's going to be probably the worst thing. So, were you actually on tour? What was exactly the time when you got the message about COVID? I mean, it was in March. So, were you right in the progress of writing new stuff, or how did the situation look like for you guys?
I don't want to say it was beneficial to our situation, but it kind of was actually, because we were in the middle of writing new stuff,
Okay.
and we planned to release just singles this year, and like change it up a little from the normal album cycle every couple of years. We wanted to like keep making new music and new videos and release that all throughout the year, and that's pretty much the thing we wanted to do and the thing we have been doing this whole year. So that's not something that has messed with our plans in any way. The only thing we haven't done yet so far is play a concert.
Yep.
But like I said, which we're not that dependent on it to make money. So luckily, we haven't had that much of a negative side effect other than concerts missing out.
Yeah, I would actually go any further and say that it actually maybe it pushed us a little bit more beyond our opportunities, because as Chris said, we were doing a lot of creative stuff, behind the scenes stuff and all that kind of things, and not having to practice or prepare for a concert or a tour for that matter. We have actually been able to use all that time and energy to focus on the production of new stuff and pretty much turn everything around what's going on in Torrential Rain right now. And that's COVID actually helped us at this point.
Yeah, the break from concerts actually helped us to overhaul like our internal band member work stuff and who's in charge of what, and how much into detail can you go in with the individual songs. And that's what I've been doing especially, and I don't think I would have had enough time for this, or as much as I had this year, if it wasn't for COVID. Not to say that COVID was a good situation or anything I like or I would like to have this year, and it sucks, but we made the best of it as much as we can, I think.
Yeah, I totally understand this, because I was actually about to say the same thing. It was, I think, or it still is, a blessing and a curse for a lot of artists, not just music, but everything else. Because, of course, now you get the break. For a lot of people, they didn't have that long break to be with their families, because they were always on the road. Of course, also a lot of, I think in the next 2 years, we're going to have a lot of new music and a lot of new movies, because right now everyone's just writing, recording stuff. So again, it's something positive and something negative as well. And also the big bands that normally are on tour, I mean, they found out a little solution. I mean, Corey Taylor from Slipknot, he just did that live stream, I think at the Forum, where you can actually buy tickets. So I don't think it's that bad, because you can, of course, always take and, create a different opportunity out of it, like you guys said. So that's really interesting. I mean, it's just a crazy situation. Nobody knows how to prepare,
Definitely.
So it doesn't really matter what kind of work you do. So, I mean, being in the home office is also weird, so just a crazy thing.
Absolutely, man. Yeah. I think the only group of persons it's actually very difficult for is the venues itself, and all the guys and girls that are dependent of actual concerts, roadies, barkeepers,
sound guys.
Yeah.
Sound guys especially, yeah.
Yeah, that is a very, very important topic. I just met the owner of one club here in Bremen. Like, actually, it's actually a big club, where also bands perform. And he was picking up his daughter, and I met him. I talked to him, and I knew something was up because I just saw his face. So I asked him about the situation, and he exploded. He said, "Yeah, I don't understand why we can't open up. Not even the bar, because a lot of bars are allowed to open up. But at the same time, like, venues are not allowed to, even though of course, you could close down the dance floor, whatever." So it's really weird and it's really bad, because he told me that the government, I mean, that was in Bremen. I don't know how it is in the southern, states, but in Bremen, they didn't even let them know any date when it might be gone or might be too normal. So to have that in your mind, like you said, Dario, you have to pay, you have to give all your people that work for you money. So it's just a financial disaster. You can't calculate nothing. It's just like, oh, okay, let's see how long it's going to take. Maybe another 2 years. Okay.
That's not anything different from what it is in the south here in Nuremberg.
Yeah.
The whole music scene has pretty much been shut down completely. The whole art section of life has pretty much been cut away, with no clear sign when it's going to come back.
Yeah.
So that might be a problem for some people.
Yeah, I think so too. I think exactly that nobody knows exactly when. I mean, if you would know, okay, May 2021, then you can, of course, calculate, you can do your plans, whatever. But to not know exactly what's up, I think that's the worst feeling, So anyways, enough negativity, guys. We're here to talk about some music. So please introduce yourselves again, especially your band, for everyone out there right now watching or seeing you for the first time. I think we're going to start with you, Dario. What is your role in the band? How did you, meet the people?
Yeah, so I'm Dario and I play the drums for Torrential Rain. And I actually got introduced to the guys while I was performing with my former band, and we were kind of connected pretty well in the metal scene back then. And the other day, I think it was Chris who came around and told me that their former drummer is going to quit because he was going to have a second child, and that was kind of the point where I started to learn this stuff to be able to jump right in, as a substitute in case it would be necessary. And after the family of the former drummer has finally grown, it was kind of up like, do you want to become a permanent member of Torrential Rain? Which of course I wanted to do, because the music the guys were doing at this point were just perfect for my needs. And together we have pretty much developed that into a paradise for a drummer. I think that's a good way to put it.
What about you, Chris?
I'm Chris, and I play guitar and I sing in Torrential Rain. I'm actually one of the 2 remaining founding members. The other one of which being Domi, and he's the bassist. And the only person left to mention would be Gordy. He's the guitarist. I myself, I'm the main songwriter in the band. We kind of developed this system of everybody has its own like unique sector of stuff to do. Like I said, Dario mainly focuses on the financial side of things. Gordy does all the management stuff. I myself, I'm the creative guy. I'm not really all that into structures, and like the working process is always kind of chaotic with me. But that actually helps me to write the songs. And that's what I've been doing since this band started in like 2012 or 2013. That's pretty much who we are.
That's awesome. That's really cool. I mean, I used to be in 2 bands as well, so I know exactly what you just said, Dario, about if you go and play with a band and it's exactly your style, you're like, oh, thank God, because you don't have to change anything. That's always a good thing, really. All right, so you guys have 2 guitar players, right? You play guitar as well? Yeah, because what you guys don't know and what the audience doesn't know, I was listening to one of your songs that Gordy actually sent me. Of course, not the new one. And I was like, hold on a second. Because then I took a look and I said, 4 people, I'm hearing 2 guitars. So I was like, oh, okay. Now it explains everything. Really, really cool, man. That song, by the way, I'm not going to lie, that song was amazing. We're going to talk about the song after. Much. No, seriously. We're going to talk about the song later on. That was just amazing, man. All right, guys. So, of course, we're here. Yeah, definitely. Of course, we're here to discuss their new upcoming song, Deaf Ears. Actually, a really cool and smart move to name a song Deaf Ears. Reminded me a lot of Deftones, by the way, the band. But Let me know about. I mean, I didn't hear the song, but just the name, you know. So let me know about this song before we're going to actually hit or jump into this song.
The song actually talks about the situation, how you feel if someone close to you like kind of slips into the depression downward spiral. A topic we discussed, or we concerned ourselves with in the last single we released, Strung Out. And in this one we're kind of doing the perspective of someone outside looking in. So everything you say to that person, everything you try to help, and everything you do is only doing the exact opposite and just driving that person further down the road and further apart from you. And I thought this was inspiring to me to write a song about that, and that's why the title Deaf Ears came to us and sounded kind of fitting.
Oh, definitely. That makes sense now. It's a very hot topic, you know, especially when it comes to depression and everything in between. So yeah, I can understand now why you actually came up with the title. I'm really excited. So this song is actually going to be released in 2 weeks. I mean, I'm not sure when I'm going to upload this video, but you guys said, I think the 31st, or when is it going to be released?
October the 30th.
30th. Okay, that's
October
good.
October 30th. Yes.
Perfect, man. Oh, man, that's going to be another. I think it's going to be. I mean, Strung Out was so good, and I'm not lying. That was really good. Seriously, guys, and we're going to talk about this afterwards. So I think right now we're going to jump in right now.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, definitely. So guys, this next video is going to be Torrential Rain with Deaf Ears. We're going to do it together. Okay, guys, so here we go. Torrential Rain, Deaf Ears, and let's do this.
Try to listen. I'll do my best to free you from this prison. Why won't you see this ain't a competition? The words I speak to you don't matter at all. It's like punching a wall. It's like you're falling away from me, but still sticking around to witness my misery as I hit the ground.
Here we go. Ah, yes! All right, let me pause it for 1 second. Torrential Rain, where should we start? Okay, I got, of course, a few questions. I mean, if you shoot a video like that outdoors, I always think about, man, how long does it take to really just drive there? You know, especially the drums, build everything up. It's just, how long did it take you guys to create the whole thing, the whole setup for this video?
The funny thing is we actually moved the drum set during the shooting day.
Oh,
so
you did?
We shot it on 2 different locations. So we actually had to build up the setup twice. And it got us pretty much, it cost us a whole day from, I guess it was 10 o'clock when we started loading in. And it was probably 1 or 2 in the morning when we got done. Just crammed all the stuff back into the practice space and went to bed because we were so done.
It was absolutely horrible.
Yeah,
It
that's
was
exactly what I'm
like-
thinking right now. Yeah.
It started out really, really awful. Then it got better as the day went on, and then it was like at some point we were just so exhausted, and it wasn't enjoyable at all anymore. But the what came out of it is really something I'm really proud of.
Yeah, I mean, right now, I mean, you can just tell that definitely paid off. I mean, this looks amazing. The video is very, very good. This song is crazy. I mean, right now it's only 2 minutes and 5 seconds, and we already saw and experienced, I don't know how many bridges, how many transitions, a little breakdown. I mean, and then it got heavier. So very, very cool. A lot of layers. All right, let's continue. I mean, guys, seriously, well done. All right, here we go.
Thank you.
Oh man, yeah. Nice. Here we go. Deaf Ears coming out soon. Awesome. It's gonna be available on all platforms.
Yeah.
It actually already is available on all platforms, but the music video release will be the 30th of October.
Awesome. Man, guys, I mean, come on. We're gonna start right now with the music video. We talked about it earlier, man. That was a really great quality of production, man. That was awesome. So congratulations, first of all. Yeah, definitely.
Thanks.
Most of the credit we have to give to Christian Brauner and his team. The guys we already worked together on the last single. Well, I should say the single before the last single, Home Alone. They shot the video for that as well. And I think they topped what they did with Home Alone on this one, especially.
I mean, this is just exactly the same topic again. If I listen to this song 15, 20 years ago, guys, you know exactly what have happened. Back then, immediately being signed, seriously, Mayhem Tour, Warp Tour, Vans Tour, whatever it was, definitely. So...
Well, that's good to hear. Thank you so much.
Yeah, and I guarantee you guys that a lot of my subscribers will actually enjoy this one, especially one guy, Steve Mangini. He's always connected with a lot of bands. Great guy. He will definitely love it. I just know he's gonna definitely write a very cool comment for you guys.
Thank you for watching this. If you are a subscriber to John, and yeah, I hope you like our music. And even if you don't like it, then tell us about it. What we can change in the future. We're always happy to receive some constructive criticism. And even if you don't get constructive criticism to us, we still appreciate your comment and your view.
And there you got it, guys. Seriously, start a discussion. That's exactly what we're here for, to build this music community. Let us know what you think about this song. Of course, I'm going to let you guys know now what I think about the music, because the song itself, I mean, it's one of those songs, it's so complex, but in a good way and I said it, earlier or actually on a few videos, that if you have a very complex song, but it's written very well, it's, in my opinion, one song that you will actually hear or listen to for a long time, because you're like, okay, now again, now I caught this one. Oh, here we go. At the same time, if you have a song that is really catchy from the beginning, after I don't know how many weeks, you get bored with this song. So I think you guys did it perfect. That recipe of just complexity, just doing something, I mean, especially the guitar layers with the melodies were amazing. So something like that combined with so many transitions, and then of course that catchy groove and a catchy chorus that you still have, that's something very difficult, I think, to come up with a song like that. But if you do it in the right way, and I think you guys did it in the right way, then you have a great song, because that's a song that you can listen to a million times, not like other songs.
Yeah, and that's what I myself am going for when I write a song. There's so many layers and there's so much stuff to discover while re-listening to the song. And I always try to surprise myself with it a little bit. Like, oh, maybe I can add a little violin in that part. Maybe nobody's going to hear it ever, like except for me in the finished product. But maybe it's something you re-listen to and maybe it catches your ear, and maybe you might want to listen to it once again, or you start thinking to yourself, maybe I can discover something else in another song. And that you can pretty much do, because there's a lot of stuff I hide and a lot of little intricacies I put throughout the songs to make it a little bit more interesting than just, the plain old drums, guitar, bass, vocals kind of thing.
That's exactly what I mean. I mean, even though I probably didn't hear the violin, if you include that one out, but it's just like, without really knowing it, subconsciously you still listen to it. You're like, oh man, I get this. You get this crazy feeling again. I mean, the first time you guys listened to metal, you remember that feeling? It was just crazy. And to have that feeling again, it's always good, because at one point you get used to how you said, Chris, the typical structure. You get used to it. You just know, okay, now it's going to be this one, second guitar, main riff, solo, back to the bridge, maybe a breakdown. That's it. Yeah. So to have something like you guys did, because I'm not going to lie, there were 2 points where you guys actually really surprised me, because I, in my mind, had already the structure. Like, okay, normally now this would happen. And then it didn't happen. So that's really something awesome, guys. Well done.
Thank you. Yeah, that's a thing I always try to do in songs. And also, like, we're trying to do the whole complex progressive metal kind of thing, but at the same time we're trying to do not that much on the nose, like yes, there are some odd time signatures, and there is a lot of riffage, and in Strung Out, for example, there's a heavy ass solo, but at the same time we don't want to have it like on the nose. It should flow within the song. It shouldn't stand out as, oh, okay, this is the progressive part, now we're going back to the metalcore part. And yeah, if we succeeded in that endeavor, then I'm happy.
Well, in my opinion, you definitely did. And Dario, especially your drums, that really shows actually what Chris just said, because you didn't just go blast beat, blast beat, blast beat. You actually really created some crazy structures. I really like them a lot, especially I think it was the bridge. I don't know where, but it was at one point when I was like, oh, that sounds really good.
Thanks a lot. That's really drums for Torrential Rain is really something that Chris and I go back and forth a lot. I mean, I can't tell you how many times we just sent our ideas to each other and changed some little details here and there, and even rewrote a part in its entirety. It takes a lot of time to get there, but
it's always like the clash of interests between a guitarist and singer and a songwriter and a drummer, and yeah, I come up with a lot of stuff and then I send it to him to like get the groove, and there's a snare on this on 3, and there's a snare on 2 and 4 or something like that, and that's the time signature. Maybe you could play a breakbeat in that part and stuff like that, and then he really how should I say it? Then he creates something that would be more like a real drummer would play it, and yeah, that's how we get our drum tracks. And I think that kind of work is going pretty good for us so far.
Yeah, and I think you actually need this clash of interests. I mean, it wouldn't sound as good and as fitting to the song if we wouldn't go through it as much as we do.
It's the same thing what Chris said earlier. I mean, Chris is maybe not good when it comes to, the managing. You're not good with something else. It's always good to, it's always good to admit what you can create, and of course then collide and create this unit. So well done, man. And another thing when it comes to the drums, by the way, drums was actually my first instrument. So I remember,
nice.
in my first my first metal band that we had, I remember the drummer, I'm not gonna say his name right now. I hope he's not watching, but he was not really into music at all. So when we were talking, and just jamming, I was like, for instance, I would be like, do this, dun, 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 dun. And of course, for us, dun, dun, is a double bass, and he was like, hey, what is going on? So it's always good even though you have different, maybe different tastes, it's always good that you guys are on the same page. Because at the end of the day, those problems are like first world problems, and I hit it on the 4th or 5th. Definitely. I mean, come on, guys, that's amazing. You should appreciate that. Yeah.
Yeah, awesome, I definitely appreciate it. And like I said, that kind of work is so beneficial for the final song, because the stuff I write is not like a drummer really would play it, but maybe I can give him some new creative ideas to think about a part differently or something like that.
Yeah, who's actually the main songwriter? Who comes up with the main structure?
That would be me.
Okay.
I produce all the songs in my little humble home studio, which you see behind me here.
It's actually pretty cool with the light. It's awesome the whole time. Blue, green.
Thank you. Yeah. That LED strip really did its job so far.
Yeah.
But I produce all the songs here in my home studio, and I come up with the guitars, with bass, the drums, the melodies, and all the lyrical ideas, and then I send it to the guys, and then we'll discuss it, and then we just see what can we change, and is this part good enough for the song? Maybe I kind of overdid it on this part. Actually, for Deaf Ears, we had some back and forth with a part in it, which I wanted to do, but at the end of it, it was way too progressive and didn't fit the song at all. And that's something I'm really lucky to have someone who's behind me and like, dude, that's not something people are gonna like, or that's not good for the song. Even though the part in and of itself would be a good part, but it doesn't lend itself to the song as it should.
Even Metallica did the same thing. I read that during the album Injustice for All, that they actually, believe it or not, some riffs in Battery were actually riffs from like a different song. But of course, it didn't fit that song, so they took them off. So, it's not about something bad or wrong, but it's maybe not good, suitable for that song. So that's exactly what goes, man.
Definitely.
By the way, what are you guys using to record? I mean, Pro Tools, or how do you work?
I myself work in Cubase.
Cubase, okay, interesting.
Cubase 10 at the moment. Dario is also a Cubase user so far. He has not betrayed me yet.
I might be planning to, though, Chris. I'm actually experimenting a bit at the moment, but so far Cubase has done a great job for all of us, and it's always good if you're working on the same DAW together. It's way more easier to get stuff sent around and fit it right in.
Oh, definitely, 100%. You know, better than always using Dropbox and whatnot. You know, it's just a bit easier. Google Drive. Yeah. Man, you know, right now talking to you guys, I would just love to record something again. I actually recorded something a few years ago with some rappers here. I might upload it at some point. Yeah, no, it's not good. it was not good at all, man. It was a crazy thing.
Like you were rapping or you were producing this?
No, I was actually doing some vocals on that, just like some screaming and stuff. Yeah, but
then I definitely would like to hear it.
Yeah, the rappers. All right.
Moving on.
You know, one of the most important questions I always think, I always imagine it to be, I'm not sure about Dario. I mean, you joined the band later on. Did you guys go together on tour already? You did, right?
Yeah, tour. Let's go to. I mean, we did play a lot of shows since I joined the band.
Yeah,
I guess that was what you were going for. So.
Oh, definitely. So, Dario, what do you, or you guys, both of you, what do you actually prefer? Because there's always this one side, you know, of bands like liking studio time, and then there's the other half enjoying the tour live. You know, so what do you prefer actually?
For me personally, it's definitely the live on the road, or rather on the stage, because the energy you get when you're playing with the guys, with Chris, Gordy, and Domi, is incredible. I mean, I really did experience that when we were shooting a music video, because we were all shooting it facing each other and going all out, each and every one of us, and that actually examined really well what energy there is between us. And at this point, I really miss going on stage with the guys. So definitely live on the road for me.
Yeah, that's a pretty hard question, because like that's two separate worlds for me. The life on the road and on the stage is amazing. It's everything I ever wanted to do with music, and I always love it going on stage. The energy we share on stage, and like the little moments you have when you look over to your guitarist or Domi the bassist, and you play something and you might joke around on stage, and then also having the people in front of the stage like what you're doing, and coming up to you after a show and going like, "Oh man, that was so great. Have you got a CD? Have you got a shirt from me?" or something like that. It's just amazing. But on the other hand, I also love the whole creative process, and that's something I haven't had very much of a chance to do live. And the whole songwriting aspect of it, and being creative and making new music, has pretty much always happened in here in this room. And yeah, so I love both of them. I can't really decide which one I love more, but since I miss going on stage so much, I would say touring and playing live.
Yeah, that's crazy, because I think every band I talk to actually right now said touring, because they miss it so much. You know, once something is taken away from you, then you realize, oh, wait a minute, that was not as bad. It was actually really good. So that's what the majority
the grass
of
is always green on the other side.
Yeah, exactly. All right, guys, man, that was actually really a pleasure to talk to you guys. We're gonna definitely do it again. And I got actually a last question, because of course you're a German band, and of course we're proud to have German new metal bands. So what do you guys think right now about the current situation when it comes to metal in Germany?
It's actually pretty hard. I mean, I could only talk for the local scene, but as far as that goes, there have been a lot of new bands throughout the last years. I mean, there was a big wave of new stuff coming up, and some of the big guns really stayed there. And there's actually, I think it's a pretty interesting development on what's going on in the metal scene right now. If you go to a local show, there's a band you have never heard of before, and they come on stage and they were really huge, actually, really good musicians and performance. I think Germany's metal scene is pretty much set for the future. Let's hope we survive the current situation, but when we did that, I'm going to say when, we're going to be good to go.
Pretty much what he said. the metal scene in Germany. I think we have some really big, promising acts. I was never that much into Eskimo Callboy, but since they released the newest songs, I'm actually into them pretty much. And
hey, same here.
Hyper, it's a great song, in my opinion. But yeah, also the local scene. I have the feeling that a couple of years ago there was like this a little bit of a decline, at least here in Nuremberg. But in the last couple of years, there's some interesting stuff going on. I don't know if that's in other cities as well, but at least for us in Nuremberg, it's going pretty good. If we get out of COVID in 2021, I hope, then maybe more bands pop up and maybe it's getting even better then.
Man, I have to connect you with other bands, especially I'm friends with the singer from Watch Out Stampede. Maybe you guys know them from Bremen. Good band. We're gonna talk about it later on, because once everything starts out again, festivals tour, you definitely have to come up here, man. We need to do something there.
Sure, definitely.
Yeah.
And about the German metal scene, I'm completely with you on that, completely. And I remember it exactly. I think it was 7 years ago. I was actually in my room listening to Spotify, and then I heard that song. I was like, wow, who is that band? Until then, Germany was Rammstein, maybe Heaven Shall Burn, Creator, a few other bands, but that was it, And I heard that band, and I was like, who is that? I was never expecting the band to be a German band, by the way. I was like, man, that's amazing. So I looked it up, and it was Any Given Day. Well, I think 1 year later. And I was like, whoa.
Yes.
I was whoa, now there's a change coming. I was like, hold on a second.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I think you guys are right. I think after that, something happened here.
Yeah. I hope it's continuing down that road. I hope there's more bands popping up and more bands really going all out and starting to, make it big. Hopefully we're one of those bands, but you'll never know.
You never know. But from what I heard, that's awesome. And guys, we're gonna definitely do another video for Strung Out as well, because even if it's just the audio, that song, man, at the beginning really reminded me of SLA Dying and everyone else. I was like, oh, that's amazing. So that was really cool. All right, man. All right, Chris.
Thanks so much.
All right, Dario. I think that's it for today. Stay healthy down there. Come up and visit the north, or I'm going to go down. Thank you very much, man. And talk to you later.
Thank you so much.
All right. Bye.
Thanks a lot for having us.
All right. Bye-bye, guys. See you next time. Bye.
Bye-bye.